Imagine going on a road trip. You want to be spontaneous, have some fun. You're laughing and singing with your friends. You drive for a few miles. Then you come to a crossroad and wonder which way to turn because you didn't bring a map. Nor did you plan your accommodations, fuel stops, food breaks, or attraction spots. How completely lost would you be? Without planning, you are bound to run into more hurdles and longer detours. Planning is an essential part of almost every short-term task, long-term project, or future endeavor. Post-secondary education is the bridge between where you are now and where you will be in the real world. The decisions you make in the final years of high school will play an immense role in your readiness, excitement, and success throughout post-secondary school. Don't you think you ought to invest some time in planning it effectively? A crucial step when planning and decision-making is understanding who you are in order to determine who you want to become and plan where you want to go. While there are many ways to answer this question, there are three main areas we will focus on to define who you are. They are your interests, your values, and your strengths. The next step in the process is discovering your options. This is your post-secondary education levels, such as a diploma, a certificate, or a degree, your field of study, such as education, arts, or music, and your post-secondary specialization, such as philosophy, accounting, or physiology. Are you interested in art design, business, or sciences? I give you a general overview of some of the most common fields to help students explore each field of study, touching upon a description of the field, specializations in the field, career options, and even some key strengths a candidate would need when studying the field. The last step is decision-making. We use what we know about ourselves in the first section and combine it with the options we've discovered in the second section to find the best fit level of education, field of study, and institute for the student. There are several in-book activities to help students look at the most important factors when making these decisions. For example, when deciding one's level of education, there are three main factors to look at: the student's eligibility, their readiness, and their financial situation. When deciding one's field of study, a student must take into consideration their interests, values, and strengths. Lastly, when deciding the best fit post-secondary institute, the student must take the first two, the level of education and field of study, into account, as well as their financial situation and additional logistics. In other words, this is you today. And after knowing who you are and the options you have, you'll be able to decide two things: the level of education and field of study that best suits you. And these two things will be the main deciding factors of which institute to apply for. Once you know where you want to go and what you want to apply for, these make up your short-term goals, such as getting the grades you need to be accepted or saving up enough money to move away. Finally, all of your short-term goals bring you to your one long-term end goal, what we've been working on to solve for the entire book. In other words, I want to go to X institute to study Y field. So how did this exactly all come to be? Well, after coming up with this idea, plus many sleepless nights, and 10 months later, I finished writing Planning and Decision Making for Students.